Well, shooters and reloaders out there, I've got these great loads to test. Not only that, but I've got ladder loadings, different powder charges going up to maximum with these bullets in the 44 Special. Love to go to the range and test them out today, except for one thing. Yes, it's literally torrential, and not only that, the storm is so bad that a lot of airplane flights have been canceled. So with all this rain, we're going to get a chance to go ahead and prep these RCBS cast 240 grain silhouette bullets for the 44 caliber. We're going to go ahead and powder coat half of the bullets that we cast with the Eastwood Blue, and the other half we're going to run through the RCBS Lubematic 2 Sizer lubricator. Do it the traditional way. So I'm taking a chance because there's high humidity and also it's cold. Gotta be around like 44 degrees and it's wet. We're doing it in the garage though. There's our toaster oven and the garage door is open for ventilation. And we're heating it up to get the preheat to 400 degrees. So we've tumbled the Eastwood Blue and half those bullets here, as you see. So let's go ahead and open this up, and I've got to take my gloves. Looks like in spite of the high humidity and the cold, we've got successful powder coating. The powder is sticking to those bullets just fine. So we'll be able to go ahead and put the bullets into our basket, shake the excess off until there's no clumps, and then put them into the oven. So you see we went ahead and dumped all the bullets into the basket, and now we're gonna do some vertical shaking to get rid of the loose powder that will result in clumps. So there we go. Now we'll go ahead and put that into the oven. Should be able to make out just barely that they're in there. So 400 degrees for 20 minutes, and it'll be okay even though the garage door is open. Okay, the timer just went off, so let's go ahead and take the basket out of the oven. And this is plenty hot. And then we'll just dump it right into the water. Like that. No sense messing around. So there's the basket, and here are the bullets. Now some of them are stuck together, but all we gotta do is let them come apart, either by dropping them like this clump here, drop that onto the concrete, and there it is. That they all broke apart. Ones like this, just take them apart like this or throw them down. There it is. And all came apart. Those came apart. That came apart. That came apart. So there it goes. It literally took a minute to separate all the ones that were stuck together. Weren't that many, but 1 minute, and they're all separated. They look pretty good. Notice the grease grooves are very sharp, just like when they're before they were powder coated. No detail was lost. See that? That's because it's a thin coating, and the Eastwood Blue does a good job thin. So here's the question I get asked a lot, and that is how much thickness is added to the bullets when you powder coat them. Well, here's one that isn't powder coated in the same batch, and you see that reads 4315. So we'll just pick one here, and you got 433. So 4315 to 433. So the difference is 0.0015. So you have, say, 1/1000 of an inch on each side that you're going to add, maybe a little less. That's not bad, but we'll want to go ahead and size these because that's on the big side. The 4315, that the unpowder coated bullet, we can actually shoot that one without sizing, but these will need to size. So now we're going to size our cast bullets the traditional way with a lubricator sizer. It's a press made by RCBS called the LAM2 or Lubomatic 2, RCBS. Well, there's two ways to do it when you got gas checks. One is you slip the gas check over the bullet first, then you put the bullet onto the platform, lower the bullet into the die, and then give the handle a little crank to increase the pressure. We've got the lube heater on, so then you give it just a little bit of time for those lube grooves to fill with lube. Now you see, if you don't get quite all of it in there, that's okay. But notice also that all the driving bands have been sized. So there you go. That's one sized bullet. So once again, you put the gas check over the end of the bullet. Go ahead and lower it in. Give it a little bit of pressure. And there you have it. Nicely lubed, nicely sized. So we just go ahead and run them all that way. Now once the reservoir is pressurized, you don't have to always add more pressure, because if you have some pressure, it'll go ahead and fill the grooves as you see. Nice. Now for those of you who don't prefer to do it that way, another way to do it is take a gas check and put it into the station first, and then follow that up with one of the cast bullets. And when you do it that way, you don't have to do the tedious job of trying to line that up and pushing it on. So there you go, you see? Nicely lubed, nicely sized, and the gas check is installed nicely. That gas check is crimped on, so it won't come off. So there you see, they're all sized to .430 and all lubed nicely, and they have gas checks on there perfectly. The RCBS Lubomatic 2 does a real good job doing the traditional LubriSizing. Now to size our powder coated bullets like you see here, we're going to take our powder coated bullet and we're going to put a gas check over the back end of it. It goes right on there nicely, as you see. Doesn't take a lot of work getting that on there. Then with our Lee push through sizer, it's 430. We just set it right on there and push it into the die. And when we do that, it sizes it. There it goes. So we'll just keep putting them through. Now this goes a lot faster when you're not dealing with gas checks. Now some of you observant viewers out there might be noticing that it's taking a fair amount more force than normal to push these bullets through the Lee sizing die. And that's very observant of you. The reason why is because, as you recall, we made this lead harder by adding super hard alloy. I've probably got BHN somewhere around 19 or 20. And that was on purpose. We wanted extra hard bullets for these silhouette bullets. And when I run my fingernail on the lead, on the corner of the lead, I don't get any denting. So it's pretty hard. And one of the penalties we pay for having hard bullets is that when we are sizing them, if we need to size them, even if we are only sizing 0.0015, it takes a little more effort because of the hard lead. Now, if these bullets were really big and they're this hard, then it would be very hard work to run a lot of these bullets through. This isn't that bad. By the way, that's the KMS squared lighting system that's lighting this up. And I know it looks like it's too bright, but when the camera's not on and just using our eye, that's just perfect. That lighting is perfect. And that's what it looks like sized. So you see no lube is needed. Gas check's on there. Now we don't need to put that gas check on, but since we want to test these bullets with gas check and without, then we've got to have some that have the gas checks installed, and these are them. And we'll go ahead and size some without the gas checks and be able to load them and shoot. Those don't look bad at all. So shooters and reloaders out there, take care, and we're ready to do the loading.